and it's so good to connect with my brothers and sisters in India. As stated by Ramika, I am a minister of religion and a gender-based violence activist, and so from that perspective, I'd like to approach mental illness and stigma. And I think there's one aspect of stigma that I'd like to point out, which is self-stigma. Stigma that is assigned to a person by himself because of low self-esteem and because of a whole lot of other factors, you know, an inferiority complex and stuff like that. So it may not necessarily be a societal stigma, but a self-imposed stigma, and I think that's also leads to mental illness.
So the problem is that you can't always see it. If you look at these faces, all are smiling faces, including mine picture. All are smiling. You can't depict that they are suffering from mental illness, right? So the main problem is that you cannot always see the mental illness.
Discrimination may be very obvious and direct. So such as someone making a negative remark about your mental health or about your treatment which you've sought already from a psychiatrist or a psychologist.
When I searched through a web search engine through Indian male having mental illness, and results strengthened my hypothesis of this social stigma. You can see the pictures. I mean, these pictures are depicting the real face of stigma attached to the mental illness.
The harmful effects if we have such a stigma already persisting in the society. So it might lead to a reluctance to seek help. So a person who's having some kind of depression, anxiety, or maybe any other mood disorder like bipolar disorder, or maybe an OCD.
There's something spirit on from one person, and that person goes to a priest or Baba and he got cured. Do you know what is the reason behind that? It is the faith, because the disease does not have any organic background, and it is the faith. And at times these kind of manias subsides in a particular point of time, and that faith actually allows that person to hold back to himself. That's the whole point. So not directly, but it is the acceptance of that person and faith that allows that faith to help that person.
And as a result of the breakdown in culture, breakdown in values, breakdown in society, so to speak, we are plagued with all of these problems. If we can return to proper family values, if we can return to the time where we looked after each other, you know, we were concerned about each other's well-being. If we can go back to that, because right now we're living in a very materialistic society where everybody just takes care of themselves. Yeah. And so the person who's suffering from mental illness often is left to struggle by himself. So if we go back to the way we were raised, we'll find a lot of remedy.
And Princey, just because I am of your age, so I can understand that why you are talking about that. So what where I came over here is this, that technology has solved all economical problems by giving us new psychological problems. Yeah. The internet has not just open sourced information, it has also open sourced insecurity, self-doubt and shame. And
individual level, if you are suffering from depression or any mental disorder, just talk about it. Do not care about the social stigma. You are important to yourself. Do not let thoughts to accumulate inside you, as it increases stress level. Pursue your interests. So message I want to give it, open up. The stories will always help to spread awareness. So open up about it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Dr. Syed, 30 seconds to you.
Yeah. So lastly, I would like to conclude by saying that one should talk more, be kind, be empathetic. Don't feel that you are the only one who's going through the bad times. It is everyone who's struggling or dealing with some kind of symptoms which are there. So you should open up, be empathetic and kind. That is what I want to say. And don't hesitate talking to anyone and seeking help from a mental expert. Thank you so much.